Hey, Christina, welcome to When Spirit Talks.
Hi, Steph. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here together.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know who Christina is, Cristina Bold is one of my mentors, and I'm so excited to have her on because I've learned so much just working with her and being in her energy, and she has so much wisdom. So I know you're going to love this, and I cannot wait to begin. So, can you share some of your story and how you became a hypnotherapist and success mentor?
That is a story. So before this life, there are many lives, but before this life, there was a version of me that was a corporate person. Probably many of the listeners, viewers will be identifying themselves with this kind of shift in life. So I was working in the banking system and I was a communication director. So very, very corporate, very masculine energy. And then I changed countries. I followed my husband. We decided to move to Portugal, where he was working, and there was a moment in my life, in my identity, when I went through a dark night of the soul. Literally, I lost everything. I lost everything that used to be my identity, right? My ego got to face a real reality check. So in that moment, I decided to reinvent myself in a way in which felt better inside me, a way that felt real to who I was. So I went through all this soul searching journey, and I came on the other side with the idea of being and functioning as a coach. So for 10 years, this has been my new life and my new purpose, being a coach. And during all this time, I felt like people were making these amazing changes inside themselves. In the beginning, I was helping people with their money mindset. That was the thing that was of the highest interest for me at that moment. And I help people build businesses. I help people change their lives. It was a beautiful stage in my journey. But then I went myself through a big, big health challenge. And that was the second time when I went through a
Mm.
deep, dark night of the soul. And I had to become again more real than I used to be with what are my truths, what are my priorities, and what is actually my life purpose. And I I don't believe that people have different life purposes, in the sense that I don't believe that we have to figure it out from the very beginning. I really have this knowing that we are just spiraling up on consciousness. And this is the whole point of this journey, right? To discover higher and higher versions of ourselves and higher ways of looking at life and perceiving ourselves inside this life. So I believe that with every new jump in our consciousness, we are discovering a new layer, a bigger layer, a higher perspective of our purpose. So I feel that that's what happened recently meaning like 3 years ago, when I had these new realizations about myself. I had to obviously redefine, as we were saying, priorities. And also, that was the point when, in this journey of helping myself with my health, but also with transforming all the performative parts in me, all the parts in me that still needed validation, all the parts in me that were still looking for approval, all the parts in me that were not free because they were acting so that they were approved by the external world. In this journey, I discovered hypnotherapy, among others, and that's when I signed up for getting schooled, and I studied with Maurice Tapir, And I now believe that hypnotherapy is like the best thing after sliced bread. Now, it's a very, very powerful tool. It's a tool, is not something more than a tool, but it's an extraordinarily powerful tool. And yeah, this is how we are here.
I love that. I love how you shared because I resonate with a lot of what you shared. But for a
Yeah.
lot of us, what stuck out to me was we start to find the higher version of ourselves when, at least for me, I encountered the lowest version of myself. It took me experiencing similar lows in order to be like, I don't want this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Something needs to shift. So I think that's probably relevant for so many of the listeners as well.
I just if I can add
Yeah.
here, I think that I am a big believer in easefulness, and you know this about
Hmm.
me. I believe that things get to be easy, and we get to choose ease, and we get to enjoy easeful evolution and progress in our lives. But what I also noticed is that as humans, we are living in a duality, right? And many times when we don't allow ease in the sense that we don't do the shifts, we don't change, course correct inside ourselves as our soul wants for us, then there is a more painful way for us to get through that course correction. And I feel that this is the case many times with, with these dark nights of the soul, with these painful experiences. It's like, okay, the soul wanted you to have it easefully,
Yeah.
but you resist it. We many times we are very, very attached to the comfort of the known. And even if we know that we should be changing things, we prefer the known over what we actually know that would be better for us, because known feels safer to the ego mind. So when we keep on pretending that we don't understand what staying in the same choices does to us, then there is a moment when we will hit against the wall. And I feel that these moments, these painful experiences are necessary because we learn only through pain.
Hmm.
And I know that this is hard to hear for, or, not that pleasant for many of us, but we grow mostly through pain because that's when we are paying attention. That's when we start listening to, the message that is coming up from inside ourselves. That's when we give these jumps through pain. So while I believe that it's also possible for us to grow through ease, sometimes the pain is needed in order for us to actually get the lesson and take that jump.
Yeah, and I think the more you start noticing and changing things and trying to do things to better your life and make yourself feel better and make yourself healthier, make yourself do what it is, follow your purpose, I think it gets easier. I don't think you have to experience those difficult moments to jumpstart it, but I know for so many of us, it's those tough moments that jumpstart it. And then the best thing that I've done after that is just like piggyback, keep going, keep building, and it gets easier the more you do it. But yeah, sometimes it takes those, tough situations to kind of shake you up and be like, something needs to change. Now, I know you talk a lot about the quantum. For anyone who
Mhm.
doesn't know what that is, can you explain it and can you share how we can use it to create a life that we love?
Wow, that is a big question. So let's see how we answer this inside of a podcast conversation. So quantum is all that is. Quantum is all that our mind can't comprehend, but it's the wholeness in which we are all existing. I many times I remind my students and clients that our human mind can only perceive 0.00001% of all that is, because can only perceive matter, and actually matter is only 0.00001. It's like 7 0 and the 1% of all that is. The rest is space, the rest is information. And obviously, there is also dark matter, and there are so many parts that we don't see, we cannot perceive, we are not aware of when it comes to our human mind. The quantum holds it all. And in the quantum, all possibilities exist. All outcomes are already created. All versions of us already exist, which doesn't mean that, we live as different versions of us on different timelines. It simply means that the potential of it exists, and all this potential is dormant until we are placing our attention on a version of that potential, on a possibility. The moment we give our focused attention to one possibility, that's the moment when that dormant potential starts getting activated. And the more we hold our focused attention on that potential, the more we are bringing it to life, because we have life force flowing through us. So whatever we are giving our focused attention to gets the life force. So when we activate a possibility and we activate it through our attention, through our awareness, that's when we start feeling a new expression and experiencing a new expression of reality starting to take shape around us. So the going back to how can we use the quantum in order to change our lives is really about understanding our multidimensionality, the fact that we can have a body, but we also have higher levels of beingness, and we can live with a body in the current reality, the physical reality that our mind perceives. But at the same time, we need to always remind ourselves that there is so much more out there that we can't see, and all possibilities are available, which means that we can raise ourselves into our higher levels of beingness, into our imagination, into our emotions, into our mental beingness, and start connecting from there with another possibility that we actually prefer. Remembering always that through our focused attention, through our awareness that we are holding on the possibility that we prefer, we are allowing that possibility to start coming online, to start showing up into our reality, because reality bends based on our awareness and focused attention. This is like, a very,
The
very
summary.
short summary of what the answer would be, but hopefully it's already, lighting up
What came up? So
something
you're
in us.
saying potentially anyone listening to this right now, if they have a dream, a hope, a possibility of what they want right now, they can actually access that in the future, no matter what it
They
is.
actually, yeah, they can access the possibility, not in the future, they can access it now, because time only exists in our physical reality. But when we are elevating ourselves above our physical reality, there is no time, which means that everything happens now. All possibilities happen now. So when we choose to observe a different reality, we observe it now. It happens now in our imagination. Like, I want you to think about dreaming. Like, when we dream, we don't dream that we are dreaming in the future. We are dreaming now. Things are happening now. We have conversations now. We feel now. We see whatever we are seeing in the dream now, because everything happens now. So it's exactly the same with the possibility. Whatever is the possibility that we want to call in, when we go to our imagination, in our imagination, we get to live it happening now, because in the quantum, it's happening now. And the more we are holding the awareness of it happening now, experiencing it in our imagination as happening now, the more we are magnetizing that vibration to us, that reality to us, that possibility to us. But I also want to make it very, very clear here. There is one step that many people are skipping. So it's really about seeing the possibility in our imagination, allowing ourselves to feel the experience of having it, of enjoying it there in the now. But then it's also about what we are doing in the rest of the time. When we are coming back, we are ending the meditation, we are ending the visualization, and we are functioning here in the, physical reality. We cannot go and use our imagination. I'm sorry, I have something
You're okay.
in my eye. We cannot go there in our imagination and hold the image of what we want for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, 10 minutes, and do the meditation, the visualization, the journaling for whatever time we are doing. But then we come into this physical reality, back into our body, and we behave as if we are stuck. We behave as if we are limited. We behave as if we are separate from what we just visited as being the reality we held in our imagination. There has to be a matching between the vibration that we are holding in our imagination and the way we are showing up into our
Mm,
reality, which means that in order for us to actually bend reality, there is one more important
yeah.
ingredient, which is holding the assumption that what we want is already ours above time. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it's ours already. So then we get to make our choices, to make our decisions, and to show up from that assumption, which changes everything because we'll be showing up from a completely different vibration. We'll be creating things from a completely different level of inspiration. We will be making choices from a completely different frequency, which obviously then allows us to receive the results that we want.
That's a great way to put it. It's like you don't need to chase it. It's already there. You don't need to chase it. I think that's the hardest part when it comes to wanting something or manifesting. It's the yes, in that space, I can visualize, I can feel it, I can do all the things. But then when I'm out of it and I'm in my day to day and I'm stuck in traffic or I'm stuck at work or whatever happens, you don't see any external validation yet and you lose it. It's so
Mm,
hard to maintain that. Is there an easy way or a simple way that
mhm.
people at home or that you've used in the past to kind of anchor yourself back into that power, that possibility when you're experiencing reality as it is and you're not seeing that external validation yet?
Yeah. The key word here, or the keywords, are external validation. We are feeling like, yes, I have it. It's already mine. I can feel the feelings. I can, feel the joy. I can feel myself being in that reality, which is the case for many of us. But then we are coming here and it's like, "Wow, but it's not here. There
Mhm.
is nothing here that is showing me that I'm on the right track." And this dropping the ball is caused many, many times by the need of validation, by the need of seeing proof. So, what I find to be the best support through this journey, through the void, as we are saying, the void is the journey where you don't a part of the journey where you are not receiving external validation. There is nothing outside of you in your physical reality that tells you you are on the right path. Don't worry, we are doing well. You are such a great woman, or great man. We are, you are nailing this. We don't see that, and we become a slave then to the circumstances. We become a slave to the physical reality. The only way to unhook ourselves from that slavery is by giving to ourselves what we are waiting for others or the reality itself to give to us. In the end, this is what I'm always reminding people. In the end, we don't want the money in order to have the money. We don't want the success just because we want to be successful. We don't want the love just, because we checked the box and we have the love. We want all the things that we want because we think that they are going to make us feel in a certain way. We want the money because we will feel good enough and we'll feel safe. We want the relationship because we want to feel lovable. We want success and to be successful in order to feel like, you know what? I am good enough.
Mhm.
I am, I'm I'm deserving of people's acceptance, of love, of whatever it is that we are longing for. So when we really get real with ourselves and start looking into why do I want what I want? What do I hope that I will be feeling, once I get it? And then we start giving to ourselves those ways of feeling, giving to ourselves the feeling of safety, giving to ourselves the feeling of I'm lovable because I'm loving myself, giving to ourselves the feeling of I'm good enough, I am deserving because I am. When we give ourselves the feeling of, as we were saying, I am safe, right? I feel safe inside my body. That's when we start unhooking ourselves from the need for external circumstances to make us feel better. And this is so, so important because this is something that many people, I mean, I was one of those people. Most of us believe that we can only feel better. We can only feel the way we want to feel the moment something changes in our circumstances. But the thing that is so important to acknowledge and to use to our advantage is that we are the ones that choose how we feel, and we can give to ourselves different way of feelings before anything changes in our physical reality. And that's how we become truly free. I can now say hand with hand on my heart that I am practicing feeling abundant, I am practicing feeling lovable, I'm practicing feeling free, I'm practicing feeling safe and safety inside my body every single day, and they became part of who I am. Do I want to have more success? Do I want to have more money? Of course I do, but I'm not attached to them anymore, because no matter how much money we get, how much success we get, nothing can give to us what we can't give to ourselves first. So, answering to your question, the best way for people to keep themselves on the track and continue showing up from the assumption of it's done and not drop the ball, but they continue to hold the field of their desire, the best way is to first learn how to give to themselves the ways of being, the ways of feeling that they hope that their results will be giving to them. And the second extraordinarily important tool is to learn how to talk to ourselves, because the way we are talking to ourselves can break us or build us up. So we are waiting for us to get the money so that the partner, or I don't know, people around us to tell us, good, you are so successful, you make so much money, you are such a great person. Why do we wait for others to tell us things that most probably they will never tell us when we can tell those things to ourselves? So the way in which we are talking to ourselves every single day is the most important way in which we are either breaking ourselves, beating ourselves up, breaking ourselves down, or we are building ourselves up. We can go through our days reminding ourselves, you know what, you're good, you are doing this, you are amazing, you are so talented, you are so lovable, I love you, you are such a creative person, you will find a solution, we are allowing this to be easy, look at it how it gets to be easy right now, etc., etc. So That will be the two keys to being the person who changes our reality, each one in his own reality, obviously.
Yeah, those were the two things I think that stuck with me the most. And the thing that helped me in general the most was thinking about in any moment, what am I seeking outside of me? Like, what do I want? And am I looking for praise? Am I looking for an object? Am I looking for whatever it is? And then instead of waiting or getting annoyed or becoming resentful because I wasn't receiving it, it's like, I remember when we worked together and I was like, let me just stop and give it to myself. And it was life-changing. It was amazing. So thank you for sharing that.
It is.
Yeah.
It truly is life-changing. It's our mind tries to find very complicated solutions, like, I don't know, I have to build this whole situation in order for me to get better, to feel better. But actually, we can feel better now, in this very second, based on what we choose to feel and what we choose to tell ourselves. It's so much simpler than we make it be.
Yeah. Now, what do you find is the biggest block people have to achieving success?
Hmm. I can't say that there is one
Hmm.
big block, but usually there are very common distortions, inner distortions, like people feel that they are not good enough. This is one of them. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for the success. I'm not good enough for the money. I'm not good enough to get what I want. This is a very, very big distortion. The second one is it's not possible for me. It's not possible for me because it was not possible before, so it's not possible for me. And this is usually, all these are stories that we are creating inside ourselves as kids based on unmet needs. Another story is I'm different. Like, I'm not the kind of person like those persons that I'm looking up to, that are getting the results, are getting the money, are getting the growth. I'm not like them. I'm different. And this is what I'm telling my clients and my students. The fact that we all feel different makes us all be the same, because in the end we all feel different. We all feel like the outsider because of the old traumas. So this would be, I would say, three of the biggest
Hmm.
blocks, subconscious blocks, that I'm seeing people looping inside of and staying stuck.
So if anyone has one or two or three or more of those blocks, what is one
Mhm.
thing they can do to get to their next level, get to what they want without the force and without the hustle?
It goes back to awareness, in the sense that we can only change what we become aware of. If we start becoming aware that, look, I have this story inside myself that I'm not good enough. No matter what I do, I'm not good enough. Or no matter what I do, I'm stuck. Okay, so this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. This create loops. Or I am different. I'm not that kind of person that gets whatever other people get. Or it's not possible for me. Whatever I do, it's not possible for me to get the results. It's really important for us to become aware of what is the story, the distortion that we see as a theme, a repeating theme throughout whatever it is that we are telling to ourselves, inside ourselves. So awareness is key. And then it's about questioning, starting to question, like, I'm not good enough according to who? I am not, I'm different according to who? I am, it's not possible for me according to who? And we will be starting to discover that these are made up stories based on old experiences, based on what other people told us, based on what we noticed around us, but they are not the ultimate truth. So then, as we start,
Hmm.
shaking the foundation of those truths that we held for so, so long inside ourselves, we can finally start choosing other truths for ourselves from a very conscious, aware place. We can start deciding, you know what? I am deserving. I am more than enough. I am an amazing, capable person. I have amazing, phenomenal coping mechanisms. I have amazing creative powers. I I am, I am the kind of person, as we were saying, I'm different. I'm the kind of person that creates success. I'm the kind of person that gets illogical results. It's not possible for me. It is possible for me to receive more than I can imagine right now. It is possible for me to have things happening with ease. It is possible for me to receive 5 clients in the next, 2 days. It is possible for me. So we get to choose different stories inside ourselves. But ultimately, what I think that is really, really important for any change to happen is to focus on a shift in our identity. And shifting our identity, it really means the way we perceive ourselves. So identity is really our self-perception, not who we are, but what we think and we feel about who we are. So a real reality jump, quantum jump can only happen when we are changing our identity and we are changing our standards, meaning what is the new standard that this new identity is aligned with. And we change our identity much easier and simpler than we think just by deciding this is who I am as of today. This is my truth as of now. And we just step into that truth, into that new way of being. Confidence is not created. Success, being successful inside ourselves, it's a feeling, it's a state. Everything that we want, the future us to be feeling and to be being is available to us right now, right here in this very moment. And we just need to give ourselves permission to step into that way of being and into that way of feeling. The identity shift followed by the elevation of standards is what creates the quantum jump. Because this is when we are not only going into our imagination and holding the desire and experiencing the new reality in there, but when we are coming back into our day-to-day life, we start showing up as that version of ourselves because we are familiar more and more with being that version of ourselves inside ourselves.
Hmm.
I hope this obviously is not too much.
No, it's definitely not too much. And I know you talk about this a lot on your own podcast that you just launched too. And I've listened to
Mm.
all of your episodes and I love them all. Is there a
Oh, thank you
favorite
so much.
message that sticks out to you from your podcast or something you really want the listeners to keep in mind before we go into the spirit segment?
I'm not sure I understood your question. Can you
From
can you
your
ask again?
podcast, is there a
Mhm.
specific message or episode that really stands out to you that you want to share with the listeners now before we move into the next segment?
Oh, so um, I feel that in every episode of the podcast, we are going so deep in all these identity shifting, reality creation, and there are so many angles. And in the end, we are always, speaking about the same spiritual truths and practical truths of creating a new reality and starting to experience a new reality. But I feel that as in any teaching, what is really creating the transformation is putting the lights from different direction, like allowing people to reflect on the truths that we are sharing, but from different angles. And many times like so many times. I get people telling me, "Ah, I've been hearing this for so many years. I've been in this doing this work for so many years, but now, the way you are saying it just lands with me, and it feels like finally I get it. I feel transformed." And I think that it's really about allowing each one of us to immerse in the message and see what actually feels true. So I can't say, like,
Hmm.
listen to this episode or the other, because I am pouring my heart in each one of them. And there are quantum jumping episodes, and now the latest episode was about is gonna be this week about the alchemy frequency, the frequency that commands reality, that makes reality obey. So it will be also a very powerful, potent episode and message. But it's really about going through that list and seeing what is the message that is drawing each one. What is the message? If I were the listener, I would go check, for the podcast. Maybe we should say the name.
Yeah.
The Hello New Reality podcast. So I would check the titles in there and see intuitively I'm drawn to this, and then just plug into that and take whatever comes up, and whatever feels true, take in. Whatever doesn't feel that true, or I'm not convinced, okay, we can leave that aside for a while. So it's really about an intuitive
Yeah.
journey and seeing what is the message
And I
that draws us
think
in.
that's what I noticed too when I listen to it. It's like you have this common theme of everything you actually talked about today, but you highlight and you spotlight it in different ways so you can see one topic from different angles. And it was
Mhm,
just so helpful. So if you guys haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. But I want to
mhm,
jump into the spirit segment now. So I have 4 questions I ask
mhm.
everyone who comes on. The first
Yeah.
one, what is one thing you include in your daily routine that helps you stay grounded that might help others do the
Mhm.
same?
Oh, you know the answer to that. In my case, I am meditating. I make it non-negotiable for me. There are two things that are non-negotiable for me now. A second one was added. So for the last 2 years, the biggest non-negotiable thing in my routine is meditation. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me it helps me release what I need to release, needs to be released, but also it helps me stay connected to, as we were saying, to my higher levels of beingness. Many times I also get very muddled into
Hmm.
this physical realm, and I feel it. I feel, I already have a high awareness of my energy, and I know that when I make like a break of one day and I'm not doing my meditation, I can feel it in my
Hmm.
energy. The moment I stay in my meditation, I sometimes meditate for 30 minutes, sometimes for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. It's not a rule. The rule is to meditate, to sit with myself for a while in order to be able to connect myself to higher levels of beingness, higher levels of feeling inside myself. So this is one non-negotiable thing in my routine. And obviously there I also do all that thing that I shared with you, also the going into the imagination and being aware of new realities. So it's a beautiful practice, this meditation. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza. Um, Whoever is in my world knows this about me. So I deeply recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza or any kind of other meditation that feels good. The second thing that became non-negotiable recently is working out. I was
Mm.
working out 2, 3 days per week, and now I'm working out for 5 days per
Wow.
week. And I made it non-negotiable. Like, even if I am feeling tired, even if it's raining outside, even if it's extremely cold, even if I'm not in the mood, I'm going and I'm working out, because it's a self-love act. And also it helps with the energy levels, and it helps also with, the mental clarity. I feel that many times we are taking care only of our spirit, like, yeah, let me stay and journal 5 hours and meditate another three, but then our body is collapsing. And I know this firsthand,
Mhm.
right? So we are in this human experience as a spirit embodied in this body.
Mhm.
And I feel that it's non-negotiable, at least in my case and in my world, to take care of both, connection with the spirit world, with our higher selves, but also taking care of the human body, the vehicle we are here
Mhm.
inside, because otherwise we are not being able to take be the best in our lives and be the best, offer the best to others either.
Beautiful. I love those. Now, what is your favorite story regarding your connection with spirit?
Oh, stories. I have so many stories. It's so hard to say. I have these moments where I just know things, or during my meditations, things are just showing up. Um, like literally, lens are speaking to me, spirit is talking to me, higher self me is talking to me, and um, I just get access to things that initially I believe, this is just my imagination. I'm making it up right now, even if it feels really, really true inside myself. But then time passes and things happen that way. Or I, I go to the real life resources and I realize, oh my God, that thing, when that land talked to me and told me about all those old stories, these are true. I mean, it's history. I can check it
Yeah.
out and I can map it out in time. And so there are the craziest things. We don't have the time to to go into all that, but literally, there are things that it's not possible that I know with the human mind, and I
Yeah.
know that I know because they come from a higher place where we are
Hmm.
all connected. And this is also one important part of everything I'm talking about and I'm standing for. We are one with the source of it all. So being one with the source of it all, being connected with the source of it all, we have access to all this crazy information that starts pouring through us when we are a clean channel.
Yeah, and the
And I
meditation
believe
and
that,
the physical workout helps with that too, because it kind of opens you up and allows those things to come in,
yeah,
allows the downloads in.
yeah, we are. I believe that we all have these abilities.
Yeah.
In the end, we are spirit, right? In
Hmm.
the, in the most of us, except for this physical vessel, this is who we are. We are an invisible beingness that is so big and beyond our imagination and so potent. But many of us drop so much into the physical body that
Hmm.
forgot about who they actually are.
Yeah.
And I think that is really about going back to this remembering who we are. And the more we connect with our higher selves, our higher expressions of self, the more access we get also to knowing that defies logic,
Yeah.
defies what we should know based on logic and ego mind.
Yeah. And what is one final piece of advice you have for listeners trying to improve their spiritual well-being?
Let me see what is coming through. I think that we can only improve our spiritual well-being when we improve our relationship with self.
Mm.
And we can only improve our relationship with self when we start allowing ourselves to change the way we feel about who we are, about this human self, starting with this human self, and then obviously going bigger into our higher selves. I feel that we cannot be spiritually connected, meaning, connected to our higher expressions, if we push against this low dimension. I think and I know now that we can only ascend through our body. We can only ascend as human beings in this human experience through our body. So we cannot judge ourselves, dislike ourselves, reject ourselves as human beings and say, oh, but I am such a powerful spiritual person, but I can't stand my human. We have to connect ourselves to this human, to this body, to start loving ourselves, to start, coming from a place of self-acceptance, self-worth, self-deservedness. And when we achieve that, we become more and more connected to the higher levels of our spiritual beingness also.
That was so well said. And where can our listeners go to learn more about you?
Oh, um, so the main two channels where I am placing so much of my heart into content are the YouTube channel where people can find me searching for my name, Cristina Bold, without the Latino writing,
Mhm.
without the ch. And the other one is the podcast, as you mentioned. I think that these are the places where people will be finding the most value. The YouTube channel has been, as you know, has been growing
Yeah.
like Prince Charming. Um, and we are very, very dedicated to placing their content, fresh content every single week, the same as with the podcast. So there is plenty of knowing, plenty of new ways of feeling and being and changing and transforming the relationship with self and relationship with reality and the spirit, these two channels. And I hope more people will be visiting us there and joining us.
I'm sure they will. Now, before we go, I pulled a card to represent you, and I'll share that. And then the message for everyone else will be after. Are you ready to see what you got? Okay.
I am curious.
Fire. You got Mother of Wands. And what stuck out to me was how you've risen from the ashes, from the challenges, from life circumstances, and you rose up and you reclaimed your power. And now you are this confident, inspirational, amazing, beautiful woman who is helping everyone else do the same, step into their next level with confidence and fire and passion and creativity. So, yeah, that's what stuck out to me. I also love how literally it's like your hair silhouette of you right now with this, but it's
True.
all about you being this beautiful, inspiring, powerful, beautiful woman who helps others as well.
Thank you so much for those beautiful words.
You're
Deeply
welcome.
appreciate.
You're welcome. And the message for everyone else is don't be afraid to strut your stuff. So you have skills, you have powers, you have creativity, you have all of this stuff within you. It's okay to share it with the world. And this is your reminder to do that. Just share yourself authentically with the world, not caring what anyone thinks, but really shining your light for everyone who needs to see it. So, Christina, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. It's always, for me, so inspirational and so inspiring and so reassuring. Like, even just your voice and your energy as you speak. And so, I know so many people will be benefiting from this. So, go check out her podcast and her YouTube channel. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you for this wonderful conversation. There was so much that came through, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share all this. Thank you